Hey everyone, this is Lori from Craggy Brook Witchery, and this is a inexpensive little deck that I found at HomeSense one day. We had that kind of a store in BC, and apparently it was produced in Richmond, BC. Now I'll just show you a little bit about the back here. I did cut off the black edges, and I did slightly corner round because it felt better in my hand. These are quite sharp. And if you notice, it does have that gold foil on it with the wording for each of the trumps, etc. But it's hard for me to get that to show up without moving it around too much. So I'm just going to set that there. I'll zoom in. And you can see what I mean, that some of the wording we're not going to be able to exactly see. And if I tilt it too much, it might be a little, as I say, off-putting for some people. And it's more about the cards that I want you to see because they are fun for a cheap little deck. Now in the book on page 8, it talks about timing. And some decks do go into the elementals and the way they prefer to indicate when an event is likely to happen. So in this little book, it says the wands correspond with springtime and action and represent the briefest unit of time, which is days. So if you were doing a spread and you had a predominant number of the elementals, then you could decide with maybe some accuracy when events would be happening. And so if we carry on, the cups are summer and represent weeks. The swords correspond with autumn in this deck and represent months. And the pentacles correspond with winter, representing years. So I don't know if you people out there look to the elementals and have a timeline or not. But let's have some fun just going through the cards. So there is our Fool. And I find it quite nice. I like the little bit of purple here. And there is our Magician. So if you're doing a candlelight reading for yourself or someone, this might be really attractive. There's our High Priestess. And I like the way the figure is picking up with the arm and flowing down into the moon, this little crescent moon down there. You still have some of the symbols that we're used to seeing in the pomegranates. It's all there. There's the Empress. Not sure if this deck would glow in the dark. Some of the greens in the other elemental cards, possibly. I might have spent maybe 14 bucks on it. So there's our Emperor. The Pope. The Lovers. They've got that look with their arms like that, like why? Interesting. There's our lovely Chariot. I just love the pose of the front legs here. There is our Strength card. I hope you're getting some of the coloring that I'm getting. And the details, of course. There's our Hermit. The Wheel. Justice, that sits in the position that I like to see with the 8 and the 11. The Hanged Man. Now let's just turn him around for a second. There you go. There is Death. So we still have the Pope figure here, the little girl, a child with flowers, another figure over here. And you really have to look for a few minutes to see that this is the tail end of the horse. But I love the energy coming through in the neck and the tilting of it here. Temperance. The Devil. Now it is interesting that where the hands are coming together and the smile, it's like they're not too put out at being in this position. A Tower card. The Star. I think they captured some of the movement in the water here quite well. The Moon. Again, the path is usually golden, and this time it's purple. Or lavender, according to how your camera picks up the colors. There is our Judgment card. And the World. So there's a lot of color in here. If I pick that up, maybe you can get a, there we go, a little bit of the lavenderish purple colors. All right, now this is the one that I thought might show up with some of that special lighting and glow in the dark. It is more green than it is the yellow that's being picked up. So that's our Ace of Wands. There's our 2, and if you might see some of the color in his wands there. Our 3. I think that's a lovely 4 with the bower up above. And the color is in the wands. There's our 5. I'm just going to pause for a second and see if I kill some of the light in here. Don't think that made too much difference. Get a little hint there of green when the light's not so strong. There's our Page. Knight. Queen. And King. And if I put them side by side, all right, now we're into the cups. Took me a while to see the hand here, but it is there. Our 2. I like the different approach that we get to see some of the face here in the 5 of Cups. Our smug little 9 of Cups. The 10. That's a bigger chalice than usual. And our king. So these are the aces, and this is really a different kind of green. Sort of silvery green, I guess, to pick up the swords effect. There's our 2. I quite like that 4. Our smug 5 of cups. We don't get to see the other 2 people. There's Sneaky Pete. Now, this scene really projects well from the card in my lighting, because you really get the sense of someone sitting at night because of all the silver and the gold and that desperation. There's our page. Our knight. I think they could have put a little bit more green here, even on the saddle or something. Our queen. Now she seems to be missing that little bit of cloth that dangles from that wrist. And our king. So now it is the pentacles. We've got that golden color again. That's a more light-hearted stance of the body than we're used to seeing. I quite like that. Here we don't have the stool, but we still have the same effect of the artist hard at work, presenting his ideas. Our 4. I think this is gorgeous back here. It's interesting they didn't put a little bit of gold coming from his hand on those coins. Again, you get some nice sweeping effect here. Not so stiff as in some 8 of Pentacles. Gorgeous 9. Just all this detail back here. 10. I like the older male figure here. The page. The knight. Our queen. And our king. So all in all, for about 14 bucks, I kind of like that I modified it because it fits better in my hand and it's not so sharp on the corners, because it didn't really have that pick me up and play me. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and if you have it in your collection, how's it working for you? Did you keep the borders on, take them off? Let me know. Quite happy to correspond and share some ideas around this deck. Thanks. Have a fabulous day.